Hey guys, this is Mr. Adams here. This is going to be a walkthrough on how to use the website storyboardthat.com as one of the options for your civil rights project. This is a website that you now have access to through Google Classroom. The link will be attached to the post itself. And this site kind of operates as like an online comic strip that you can edit um, and recreate like scenes or tell a story. Um, this is only one option of doing the project. You have many others. You do not have to do this. This is just a option for some people who don't want to be filming themselves or making a podcast or something like that. Um, so in the actual post, you'll get a link that'll take you to this website. The purpose of this is that you would be, if you choose to do this part of the project, you would be recreating um, some of the most famous and iconic scenes or visuals that came out of the civil rights movement. Kind of like if you think of comic strips as like talking about like heroes and superheroes, we're looking at this as like who are the heroes and the highlights from the civil rights movement. So what you want to do first is like look over the list on the actual um, project rubric. Just look up what some of these things were about, and some of them hopefully you've already been learning about. Um, but you're going to kind of recreate some of these famous scenes as if you were there, like a journalist observing it. So, for instance, if I looked at the March on Washington, Dr. King's um, event where he gave his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, like this kind of a visual, looking out over the DC Memorial Pool, that's a great thing to kind of capture, like as if you were there. What were the emotions? How did people feel? What kind of things are being talked about? Like that's what you kind of want to recreate as if you were there. There's other things that are much more dramatic, much more jarring, such as the Birmingham Children's March, where they started turning the fire hoses on little kids, setting the dogs loose, something like this that was extremely graphic. When these kind of snapshots and footage showed up on people's front page headlines on their newspaper, um, saw them on the news, it shook people into action. Like visuals like this is what pushed the movement forward, that showed that we can't stand idly and not answer the call to action. So with the website itself, you are going to have a pre-made 6-cell template. This one's just 3 right now. And the main 3 things that you need to create whatever you want are top left-hand corner. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. So you always want to log in. Always want to log in, because then it'll auto save your work, and you log in with Google. So just like you would with any other website, it'll give you the option to log in with Google. You always want to do that. Absolutely. Um, and the save option when you're creating your storyboard is going to be down here in the bottom right-hand corner. So top left-hand corner, once you've logged in, you've opened up My Assignment, you work on the blank template. Scenes will give you a full list of all different kinds of backgrounds. So you could choose like a street with businesses here, like I've done. Let's do one here. Let's do U.S. history. Oh, this is taking you way back. You could do historical. Wow. Outdoor, school. Here's a classroom one in case you wanted to cover Brown versus the Board of Education when schools were successfully integrated. So that's your background. Then characters are what give you all these little people, and same kind of thing. With any person you grab, you will be able to, oh man, I mean, I can't even I can't even get over like just how awesome this is. Here, let's do teens. We'll grab this girl here. And then from there, you can edit all of this stuff. So hair color, we can give her dark brown hair, We can give her a medium skin. We can give her some crazy red eyes if we want. Woo! Anything. You can tweak all of this stuff. You can also edit the poses, make her shocked. You can make her kneeling. Pretty much anything and everything you can ever think of. And of course, you can rotate things, tweak things around. You can play with this all you want. It's a lot of fun. The other third thing, so scenes gives you your backgrounds, and these are all your options. Characters, same kind of thing. Obviously, you want to be making these as historically accurate as possible. So how do people actually look and dress back in the 1950s and 60s? And then textables. This is where you can add in your speech bubbles, your thought bubbles. So every scene, I like you to be at least historically recreating where things were taking place, what was going on. And you'll also have on yours, let me scroll down real quick. I think my recording thing's in the way, but you will have a title across the top as well as a description below. So your title might be like, if I'm going to make this one Brown versus the Board of Education, that's what would go in the title in the top. Your description would explain what the scene was about and why it's historically important. And then in the actual scene itself, you would just have some of the action. Like perhaps you might recreate this with like Linda Brown finally taking her seat, and she's the only little black girl in a room full of white children, and the famous look that she's getting from another girl. I don't need to pull that up. So I think that's long enough to kind of help explain just the basics of how to use this. You'll have 6 cells, so 6 scenes to create. There's a template with instructions already loaded in. I think if I need to make another video, I will, but that should be good enough for now.